it's my assumption that most of you are better at the internet than me, but on the off chance that you're not, I just thought I'd walk you very briefly through the movie review websites that I think are going to yield the best results, the most sort of credible out there, not only for your reader response 3, but of course for your collaborative essay. So here we go. I'm going to really try to be quick. Metacritic.com, search bar. Let's keep things spooky since Halloween is coming up. Green Inferno. I mentioned this movie in a couple of other, or in one other screencast. And so, 38 Metascore. All right, so generally unfavorable reviews. So the trailer will load up. It kind of gives you, something to work with there as well. But what I want you doing, if you do Metacritic, is sticking with critic reviews. I know that's tough to do. When you see all these other reviews over here, you might think, oh, that's a review too. Don't. So you can see 75. It's the favorable review. So you want to look, if you're looking to have a sort of, they call it in politics a confirmation bias, that you want something to be true, and so you seek out information to verify that you're right and everyone else is wrong. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with using a little bit of a confirmation bias when it comes to something that is aesthetic in nature, like art, and movies are art. I'm not ever going to tell you that a painting you think is beautiful isn't beautiful, and I expect the exact same courtesy. And for the most part, same goes for movies, although I do love discussing, the basic merits of certain movies. So anyway, I think Eli Roth is an interesting filmmaker. I don't know. I think he's talented. I don't know if his subject matter is really for me, but I'm always curious about what he does. And so this is his latest horror movie. You can see little brief reviews here, okay, from rogerebert.com, another website I totally recommend. You can see just a little brief, okay, but what you have to do, guys, and this is important, maybe I should zoom in here. Okay, you have to click on Read Full Review if you want to go to The Guardian. Hopefully that sounds familiar. The Hollywood Reporter. Get out of here, trailer. Okay, IndieWire.com, New York Post. All these are fine, especially if you see a city, that's fine. Any source that has a location in front of it is going to be okay because that person's being paid to write. So if you stick with the left column, you will go to the full review. Okay, what else maybe? Another good one. It Follows. A movie that came out earlier this year. Very scary. I thought that one would have a much better score. Really, really unsettling. One of the scariest movies I've seen. I'm not saying you have to watch scary movies, but if you like them this time of year. Oh, look, 100, 90. All right. So again, confirmation bias, but I bet if we get down here, if you want to see all the 37 critic reviews, let's get down to the bottom. Sorry if I'm making you a little ill there. Look, all the way down to 60. So you can see Chuck Wilson from The Village Voice did not enjoy as much. So you can always read the full review. Metacritic, wonderful resource. Metacritic, however, and this is important, does not generate any of these reviews. They just collect and sort of collate them. Very much like, excuse me here, RottenTomatoes.com. The internet's very slow today in my office. And that's really too bad because this is my one chance this week to really sit down and make a whole bunch of screencasts. Okay, so let's see. So Rotten Tomatoes, as you can see, it's just a little more, I don't know. Its layout is not as appealing to me. And I think, again, that's an issue of aesthetics. So you can see what's coming out this week. You're probably going to want to use ones that are a little bit older. So, I don't know. Let's just stick with scary movies. Which one did I like? What did I like last year? What was that one? Why am I blanking on this? It is a movie. I'm going to hit pause and think about it. I was paused out of this screencast for exactly 6 seconds. I said, "You're next," because that's the name of the movie. I was like, "Oh yeah, you're next." So, I thought we'd have predictive typing. So look, movies, You're Next. See, it's got a 75% fresh rating. I think just Rotten Tomatoes is kind of more, I don't know. Let me quit reviewing these sites. So you got this whole layout. That's creepy. Speaking of scary, Rotten Tomatoes wants to know my location. Okay, you can see the tomato meter. So those are reviews. Your Next is another, I think, very scary movie. It comes out of the sort of the mumblecore scene, and I'm very much a fan of mumblecore movies. It's by one of the better mumblecore directors for my money's worth. And you can see just in this sort of very easily accessible. Is it fresh or is it whatever this one's called, splat? So again, full review. So for reader response 3 and for the collaborative essay, you need to click on full review. So let's see which one this leads to. I don't know why I'm doing so many internet-related things when the internet is so slow. But anyway, the director of Your Next is Adam Weingard. Very cool. Okay, so this is, I don't know how great this site is, 3AW 693 News Talk, but still, this guy's paid to write, so he's probably got a review for Your Next down here. Embraces the gory conventions of your standard psychos versus family scenario, only it's spiced by juicy family drama. It's very talky, so that's why I like It Follows. So anyway, Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, stick with those and you will be fine. But since you have to do 3 decades worth of movies, sometimes you got to reach a little deeper. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't go too far back in time, at least not to my knowledge, and neither does Metacritic does in some ways. But what you want to stick with for older movies is the very slow to load movie review query engine. Here we go. Looks like it's coming around. Okay, and again, sorry for the delay. So, of course, the MRQE is also going to have all the new ones, the same movies that are coming out this week that you've been seeing in the front page of all the websites so far. But it's got a million articles available, and that's bigger than anywhere else. Okay, so let's say you want to deal with an old scary movie. Let me think of an old scary movie. There's Peeping Tom. That's a good one. Let's do Eyes Without a Face. Very creepy French movie from, I believe, 1960. Yes, there it is, 1960. Okay, so, oh my goodness, what a scary movie! It's just it's very artistic and poetic in its way. But if you're again looking to get scared, very easy way to do it is you wouldn't think a movie from 1960 would be scary, but my goodness, here we are. So you can see New York Times has a review, Variety, Chicago Reader, and these are all generally going to come from 1960. How cool is that? Classical reviews, right? So you can go to, we could keep it, let's just keep it New York Times. Let's see what this will generate. Yes, 1960 film review. All right. Yeah, it's about this French plastic surgeon. He cuts up women's faces in order to create. I don't want to tell you anymore. It's very, very, very unsettling. So anyway, here's a nice old review of a very old movie. So if you're looking for reviews of older movies, the MRQE is definitely the way to go. We should keep going back to that. The New York Times. I've already we were just there, but I'm going to go to the front page just for a second. I bet it's something about Donald Trump. Well, I guess not. We got the big debate tonight. I figured maybe he would be. I was wrong. So you can search this way. What do we want to use for New York Times? Another scary movie. Another movie that is unsettling to me. Let's go with, my wife's favorite. Halloween. That might be tough to do. Movie. Halloween, maybe if I do Carpenter. Let's see if we can find a review. Halloween Tale. I might have picked. Okay, well, like movie review. There we go. Halloween movie review. Tough one to research because it's just named Halloween. Okay, well, this is. Forgive me. This is not my wife's favorite movie. Absolutely not. This is the 2007 Rob Zombie remake of Halloween. But I think you get my point here. If I'd have picked something with a slightly more distinct. No, maybe it's in here. Let's see. Oh, there you go. So sometimes if you just do a little link hunting, it'll come up. Let's see. Preview, Directors Awards. More article. Let's see. Filmography about this person. Oh, that's not very intuitive. New York Times. Okay. Well, anyway, you get my point about the New York Times. I don't know if I need to do many more of these. Oh, New York Times on here twice. Gotta get rid of one of these, don't we? Peter Travers works for Rolling Stone. HitFix has a lot of good reviews. AV Club. Just maybe show you real quick Roger Ebert. And then I promise I'm going to wrap this up. So again, Roger Ebert was probably the best film critic of all time, and his website is still quite popular despite his untimely passing. What do you have? Throat cancer. So let's type in my favorite horror movie. The Shining. Yes, sir. You can't do any better than that. Stanley Kubrick's my favorite director, and The Shining is my favorite horror movie. Oh, look, I got a tag of great movie. So Roger Ebert's review is certainly not new. I think it came out right when it was published. And he was one of the first people when The Shining came out, and there's Jack Nicholson. There he is there too. When The Shining came out, everyone hated it. It won the Razzie Award for Worst Movie, if you can believe it or not. And Roger Ebert was one of the very first people to actually say this is a classic, this is a masterpiece that people generally agree on now. So look at how long. He used to write so many words. So feel free to use Roger Ebert's exact words or rogerebert.com because they hire a fair amount of astute movie critics these days. So again, every one of these websites, basically the whole point of this assignment is to tell you that these websites have search boxes and especially with Metacritic, Rotten Tomatoes, and Movie Review Query Engine, the MRQE, they don't generate reviews. They only share them. So it's your job to track them down from there and to cite correctly. If you want to use the MRQE or Rotten Tomatoes, you want to consider them a database in your citations, go right ahead. Is that something I'm going to be looking for? Not necessarily. Okay, good on you.